Yeah, 1 2 1 2. Politic Ditto. Bam and E.
Just that. Back again.
Episode 7, E.
Episode 7? It's not 6?
No. Episode 7 is the God episode.
It's the God episode. Yeah. I've been away, summertime. Getting the best of us. Been a while since we did a podcast.
Yeah, we got niggas now wanting to get on now. Before when we was trying to get people on, we're only 7 episodes in, and people are like, "Yo, I want to be in. I want to be a permanent member. I want to be."
Put their 2 cents
in. Yeah.
They want a politic ditto, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Appreciate the love, though.
Yeah.
Appreciate the love and the hard criticism.
But speaking of niggas coming too late.
Yeah.
I just saw the NWA movie. You saw the NWA movie?
I did.
What was your take on the...
I was impressed. I thought it was way better than what I expected, even though I knew the story, but it broke down a lot of things for me. It showed some light on a certain situation I was a little confused about. Was it true? Was it not true? It was good. I left the theater clapping. I can't be mad at it.
All right, was there anything in particular that you saw that you were like, okay, I didn't know this?
The thing that I saw that I was unsure about was the situation when Dre was trying to get out of the contract with Ruthless. And I remember hearing about it, rumors, because remember, there was no internet, no Twitter, and all that. So
with Suge shaking down easy.
With Suge shaking down easy, the way I remember hearing it was Dre called him, said he'd be somewhere, and he really wasn't there. And niggas beat him with bats. And I was just like, word? Okie doke. And then in the movie, it kind of did that. Because when Easy walked in, he was like, yo, where Dre at? And then Suge, being Suge.
With a German Shepherd,
saying like, you ain't got to worry about him being here. He ain't supposed to be here anyway. This business with me and you. And that scene, I was like, oh, shit.
And one thing that made me kind of think that was true is because the scene that Tamika Wright, Eazy-E's wife or ex-wife, widow, I should say.
Widow, yeah.
Is executive producer. So she knows when he came home, what he looked like and what he felt. And I mean, of course, this is Hollywood embellishments, but I would think that that tends to be true.
But even the whole part of going to Jerry Heller's house after the fact, I heard that too. That's why I was like, oh shit.
But one thing, did you get from the movie that he didn't sign the contract when Suge beat him up?
I thought that's what he did, though.
But remember, the scene with Jimmy Iovine is after that. When they say, Jimmy, we have a problem.
But Jimmy got him out of the contract, but
what did he sign in? If he signs away the rights, then he's out of the contract. Like, that's what I'm saying. I don't understand. To me, that's kind of...
It was a percentage of the publishing that he still owned. He wanted it all.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? But I think he still had to pay Eazy because that's what Eazy was still bragging about, even though he made money off of Chronic. He was like, I'm still getting paid off your publishing rights. So it was that's why Dre was mad, because he had Suge in his pocket and he still owed Eazy-E.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The music business and shit.
Now,
like
one
that.
thing I got from it is that Eric Wright, Eazy, didn't seem as bad as I once thought he was. Like, I thought he was like Puff or Berry Gordy or just like one of these malicious ass dudes. And maybe because he's dead and Cube and, as we said before, Eazy-E's widow was executive producer, that they kind of, soft sold it. But he doesn't seem malicious. Like, he seems like somebody who was just trying to help everybody, and if we might disturb this boat, then it's going to fuck up for everybody, so let's not disturb the boat, even though he is getting richer. And I think they kind of downplayed, like, they showed that one scene with the steak and lobster when Q was it. But
I read that too.
I remember as a hip-hop fan, to me, the thing was the whole... what kind of car he had? Samurai Suzuki. Mm-hmm. The fact that this nigga had a Samurai Suzuki and everybody else had a Benz.
Yeah.
Because that was the same thing with E-Double.
Yeah.
From EPMD.
Yeah.
So I kind of felt that maybe they could have sold that scene better off when they got off the bus from touring, and if they showed each of them getting into their car and Cube got into a Samurai Suzuki and this dude get into a Benz, I think that could have sold the same point with a lot of dialogue and time, because the movie did go 2 hours and 30 minutes almost.
It was a lot to tell, though. That's why I was happy with it, because at least they got everything out.
You don't think there was... I thought there were certain scenes that
You're such a critic.
weren't near. I mean, no, I mean, but just,
I'm joking.
But just from a movie standpoint, like 2 hours 28 minutes. I don't know when the last time you saw a movie 2 hours 28 minutes.
There's never been a movie
with no
2 hours 28 minutes that I really wanted to see, and that I wanted more of too, though. So
true.
I was happy with the time.
Yeah, I'm not complaining about the time per se. I guess as much as that maybe they could have put other things in. Like I just felt certain things like
they left out, like they could have,
or things could have been melded together. Like Dre's scene when he went outside with his baby mother and she had a daughter there. Like that was like a whole scene itself. Whereas to me, that could have been kind of like she could have walked in the studio while he's in the studio and kind of had that play out. And then left. Like, the fact that he had to come outside and then yell at him.
Everybody been in an uproar about the Dre situation because there's so many things that they didn't show. Far as the whole Miss Chalet situation between him and Suge Knight, because that's really what the beef started with for Death Row, if you really know. And also the whole D Barnes situation. That was crazy to begin with, too. And they didn't really elaborate on the fight between the Easy had set up. They could have really broke it down.
Now, my stance on the D Barnes shit, first of all, when I read this weekend that D Barnes was shocked not to see
why?
But she was in the theater, I thought, okay, well now, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have to care because she paid money for the first weekend. Like, I understand if you want to see it because you're a part of this, but to pay money... And to go first weekend.
You really thought they was gonna put that in there about him though? Seriously?
But that's called support. You know what I'm saying? Like how can I be mad that they didn't put in a scene of this woman getting beat when this woman went out and supported it the first week? Like seriously, like you're telling me you're in the theater the first week. Like you didn't even wait for a month. And we all know first week sales count. Yeah. To longevity, to a lot of things. Yeah. So
I wonder if she see residuals from this shit, but she can't.
No, she'll see.
Motherfuckers try to do anything these days and shit.
Yeah, I mean, obviously her name is more out there now because of it, and I'm not saying she's trying to seek that.
And that's probably why she put herself out there because people need to know that don't know.
But I would like to say that I personally don't believe in the mantra once you hit a woman, you're a woman beater for life. I don't believe in that. Yeah. I don't believe that people cannot make better decisions, and I don't believe that it's always a one-way street. I'm not saying that, again, I would say more than 95% of the time it is a one-way street, but if we're going to be adults to be rational.
People lose their cool, you know what I'm saying?
And also, I have aunts that have gotten beaten, and...
Somebody beat you?
No, my aunts that have had husbands.
Oh, yeah.
That have been hit, and...
We all seen that.
It's a part. My parents will tell me it's a part of culture. My aunts themselves will tell me it's a part of culture. Not saying it's right or wrong, but
because even growing up, you seen cats that was older than you kind of like idolized like certain teenage niggas on the block. They would hit their girls and shit.
Right. So what I'm trying to say is there's a culture of not only men selling this is okay, but there's a culture of women selling this is okay. Yeah. And I'm not saying women are right or men are right to sell that it's okay, but if you grow up and women tell you it's okay for them to be hit because that's part of the game, and men say it's okay to hit women, then it's kind of like we have to recalibrate how we judge this young guy. Because
he coming off of that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So,
and it probably took that incident to make him realize you can't do this.
And Dre, from what I read, Dre hasn't done this or hasn't hit a woman in like 10 or 15 years.
I think she's probably the last woman he ever hit, though.
Well, I'm not gonna say that, but that's documented. As far as documented, it could be fact. That could be fact.
I'm just thinking all the incidents I've heard of him.
Because Michelle A probably was before that, right?
Michelle A was before that,
right?
You know what I mean?
And his wife hasn't documented anything, and they've been together. So my whole thing is, I mean, if we're going to celebrate the people in South Carolina for forgiveness, don't try to fucking not hate on this dude. This dude ain't killed nobody. Exactly. You know what I mean? That nigga killed somebody, and all of a sudden,
y'all did it at a young age, being a young man, and you don't really know no better. I mean,
and also
he was the fucking Chris Brown and Rihanna before.
Also, E, let me bring up a point. And I know black people in the black community will get on me about this, E, because you know how I feel about hitting your kid. But they had a scene in there where he said something to his mother, which I don't feel was so bad, and his mother smacked him.
But that's what mothers did,
right? But my whole point is, people will say, don't curse in front of your kids. Why? Because they'll curse.
They'll curse.
Don't do this in front of your kids. Why? Because they'll do it.
Their image, do
but for some
that
reason,
do.
if you say don't hit your kid because they'll hit people, then people say no. But
I mean,
but okay, right. But how can you tell me that I can't drink and do drugs in front of my kid because they'll do that, but yet I can physically hit them, but I should expect them not to do that? Like, I'm not saying somebody's right or wrong, but I think that's a false argument because it's not consistent. What say you?
Overall pick. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but at the same time, that's just the way people come up. You discipline your kid. You know what I'm saying?
Well, okay, but
you gotta respect adults. I mean, I get what you're saying. I see where you're going with this. But
my whole point is being consistent.
Yeah, consistency. I see.
My whole point is consistency. So it's like if you don't curse in front of your kids, you don't do that. Then you can say, yeah, I can hit my. Or I mean, well, no. If you curse in front of your kid, you do all that kind of shit, and you hit your kids. I understand that because you're like, yo, it's not do as I do, it's do as I say, which is understandable. But for you to be like, yo. You see that that girl like she not even reading to her kid, but I'll hit my kid. Why do you need to read your kid? I need to read to my kid because I need to set an example. Well, do you think if you hit your kid that's setting a certain example? No, that's different.
Yeah.
See, I'm saying.
So them actions that he got from his mother is probably a reaction that he had with.
I'm not drawing the direct line to that, but what I'm saying is, if you say, I curse, if A, parent curse, B, kid curses. Then you gotta say if A, parent hits kid, then B, kid will hit people to solve problems. Like, I don't see how that's not a direct correlation. I'm not saying it's always a direct correlation, but if you agree that if I curse around my kid, the drugs my kid, they're gonna do that. But you say, well, if I hit my kid, he's not gonna hit people. I don't understand how you draw that conclusion. That's where I'm confused.
I guess it comes down to age, though. He was almost a man at that point. I guess if you're hitting the child from birth to...
So you think that's the first time he got hit? Like,
I mean, obviously not. I mean, because the way we grew up, we all got beatings.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? When you learned your lessons from the beatings, I get it, but, you know.
And I think that's the problem because we all got beat and we all don't beat women. Yeah. So people will quickly say, well, I got beat. I don't beat women. But just because... That's like saying Jay-Z grew up in Marcy and he made it rich. Why can't you? It's the inverse effect. Like, just because you did some shit doesn't mean that in the macro sense, like if you did it to 1,000 people, you know what I mean? Like everyone's gonna turn out like you. Like if you did the same behavior to 1,000 people, I think most people would agree 501 probably gonna come out bad. If 1,000 kids are beat when they do bad shit, and 1,000 kids aren't beat and they're talked to and they're giving certain like punishments that don't deal with hitting. Yeah. And then we had to say out of those 2,000 kids, 1,000 here, 1,000 here. Who would you bet money that it'll be under 50, or the lowest percentage of them hitting their spouse? I think most people would say I bet on the kids who didn't get hit.
Well, I'm glad you made that point and you went into the whole beating in the face. But let's reel it back in and get back to the movie. Okay. What was your aspect of the movie?
Okay.
Parent over here.
Okay. So, yeah, there you go.
Your kids frustrated you? What happened, brother?
Yeah, there you go. Okay. So, I like the movie.
Okay.
And I'm not going to hate you because, you know, I can be considered a big hater. I'm not going to hate. Like, I really have nothing bad to say about the movie. Even though I watched it was good. I would say that...
The opening.
I would say that reading... before I saw that this was Cube's point of view, and then seeing the movie, like me coming up, like we came up in this shit. Like I remember this whole like we came up in this beef. Nigga. We know this
back
beef.
to childhood.
Like Cube was never bad, and he never was. He came out rosy. Like he came out better than 50 Cent came out Ja Rule beef because he had work and and he was like he
ain't even dissed him like he said. Yeah, and he was sitting down and all. He was like, yo.
But also he went from west to east.
He sure did.
And he went from Jerry Curl to like Fade. Yeah. And he went to Nation of Islam. So like he did so many shit that's monumental. Like I don't even blame him for like making himself a magnanimous character in the movie, especially if you're gonna put up your money. Like if we're gonna do a story about
Politic Ditto, he is the Hollywood one out of them. Yeah, you know what I mean, he tapped in it first.
Right. And it's like, yo, if we do a story about Politic Ditto 20 years from now, nigga, you ain't down, nigga. Trust me, I'm like the brains. I'm doing everything. All right. And the same way reverse with you. You know what I mean? Like, nigga, if you want, like,